Hi guys, how's it going? It is day 13 of Nanowrimo, and this video is not going to be about Nanowrimo or writing. Like I said previously, I've been thinking about 2014 and setting up my yearly goals, so I'm going to be talking about that. This video is mostly for my own posterity to be able to look back and see my process for how I did this, and also hopefully to help you guys if you're interested in this. So if you're just looking for NaNoWriMo videos, you don't have to watch this. Please don't if you're not interested. This is really only for people who are on the same page, so don't feel obligated to watch this video at all. So anyways, if you're still watching, hi. I wanted to share a link down below for a really helpful PDF that I found that breaks down your goals into yearly, quarterly, monthly, and weekly, and then daily, so that you can take really broad and specific goals like I want to lose weight, I want to be healthy, and actually make a plan for yourself that has like action steps that can really help you to make them achievable. So the first step that I took in thinking about my resolutions or intentions for 2014 was to picture how I want myself to be at the end of 2014 next year. If I were to meet myself on December 31st, 2014, how would I look? How would I act? How would I feel? And basically I would want to be able to shake my own hand and be like, wow, you are a self-published author of your first novel. You are an intermediate Japanese language person, and if you went to Tokyo, you'd be able to get around and talk to the people from a culture that you're really interested in. That's really cool. You've lost 50 pounds. You look great. You are in the best shape of your life. And you look and feel awesome, and you're really healthy, and you could even be a mom, you know, because you're not overweight anymore. And also, you have read 50 books this year. That's so impressive. And you have notes on all of them, and they helped your writing, and they helped inspire you. And anyways, so those are the things I want to be able to say about myself at the end of this year, and that really helped me break down my goals or intentions into 4 very specific goals. The first of which is to publish a novel, the second of which is to lose 50 pounds, the third of which is to teach myself Japanese, the fourth of which is to finish and complete the 50 books challenge this year. So that was my first major step, was to figure out 4 manageable goals that I can then break down. And if you want to go ahead and click on that link that I said I was going to show you before, and maybe have it in a tab while I'm talking or something. I don't have a printer, so I couldn't print it out, but I made this little worksheet that's basically the same thing as that. So up top here we have our yearly goals, like I just mentioned, the 4 major goals I just said. They're going to be different from you, obviously, but this is just my process. And then it's broken down into 4 quarters. So this half of the page is the first quarter, second half of the page is this one, and so on the back. And then it's broken down into the 3 months of each quarter, January, February, March, and then weekly, so 4 weeks in a year, 4 weeks in a month, blah. And as you can see, I've already written down the books I want to read each week, 4 books a month, 12 books a quarter, 50 books a year. So that's how that breaks down. So I can go ahead and tell you that I'm going to be reading Ender's Game the 2nd week of May, or The Road in the 3rd week of June, you know? And I also have space on here to map out my other goals that I have. That's just where I'm at in the process so far. And then I made another little worksheet for myself. where again I have at the top my 4 yearly goals that are really just, I want to have those at the front and center of my planning this year. And then I've broken down each of my goals into quarterly, monthly, and weekly. And so that's set up like that. And I already said for the 50 books challenge, that means 12 books a quarter, 4 books a month, 1 book a week. That's pretty easy to understand. I took that same process to losing 50 pounds this year. 12 pounds a quarter, 4 pounds a month, 1 pound a week. And kind of broke that down into like working out 5 times a week and clean eating. I also took that same model to how I'm going to teach myself Japanese. I have this human Japanese program on my computer that my boyfriend got me, and so I'm going to be doing 12 chapters of that a quarter, 4 chapters of that a month, 1 chapter of that weekly, and also doing flashcards to learn hiragana and katakana and kanji. And then the more complicated one is to publish a novel, because it's not just, you know, once a week doing something the same and then building that up. So the first quarter I'm going to be focusing on editing this one when read. Monthly, that looks like 3 rounds of edits. Weekly, that's going to be, you know, the chapter targets I want to hit that week in order to meet that goal for the quarter. The second quarter, I'm going to be sending it out to critique partners. And monthly, that's going to look like, you know, really creating that dialogue and feedback loop so that I can implement those changes into my story and then maybe send it back and forth and be like, okay, well, how does this look now? Okay, I've fixed this. Now this is lacking. Okay. And so I'm going to be spending time working with, you know, beta readers and stuff like that. The third quarter is going to be researching self-publishing. So that quarter I'm going to be doing 90 days of research, and I don't have a specific weekly breakdown of that yet, but we'll see how that goes. And then the fourth quarter of the year, I'm going to be self-publishing The Sun Went Red. I'm giving myself 90 days to figure out that whole process, come up with the money if I need to. Hopefully my research will have shown me the path to the best site that I need to do that. I'll be, you know, gathering copies, coming up with a marketing strategy, maybe creating my own website for either the book or me as an author. You know, I'm still planning out this goal, but yeah, that's what it's going to look like. So it seems pretty scary if you just make these really general goals at the beginning of the year, but if you really break it down into quarters, months, weekly, and day, like I know for the next you know, year, Thursdays are going to be yoga. So maybe if that kind of takes a toll on me, maybe that can also be my reading day. Or if I know on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I'm going to be working out at the gym, maybe I can take some Japanese flashcards with me and kind of get a twofer and be working out my mind and brain at the same time, or my mind and body at the same time. So anyways, that's my overall plan for the year so far, and I'm still working on it and tweaking it and making it work for me. I showed some of this to Colin, and his first reaction was, well, what if you get behind, like, specifically for the 50 books challenge? And, you know, that's a valid point, because I probably will get behind since I have a lot of Dickens to read. I have 12 Dickens books, so once a month I'm going to be reading like an 800-page book. at least. So, I mean, they're lofty goals, but even if you do get behind, having a plan is better than not having a plan at all. Like, just having these looming goals over you, like, just kind of being a burden and having no way to actually try to see that through is worse, I think, than falling behind on a plan that you really mapped out for yourself. I mean, I just think it's going to be easier to catch up and keep working on something even if you're behind, rather than just nothing at all. So I really hope that this gives me a purpose for 2014. I really have, you know, some great goals, and, you know, it'll be really rewarding at the beginning of the third quarter, around 4th of July. If I will be halfway towards my goal of losing 50 pounds, I'll be 25 pounds lighter. And, you know, I'll be able to go hiking or go on a crab boat and not have to worry about it, or, you know, even go get into a bathing suit. And I'll have read 25 books by then, and I'll be able to impress all my family and friends. And, you know, stuff like that. It's as long as you give yourself rewards and think of the big picture, I think it's going to be really good for me to have this plan. So if you are at all doing any kind of extensive planning, or even just thinking about your resolutions or intentions or goals for next year, I would really, really like to hear about them. So do not hesitate to contact me and tell me about them if you'd like to share. This is kind of a little bit hard for me to kind of put there on the internet. This is pretty personal, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was helpful. I really liked that PDF that I will link below. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Bye!